Next thing you might want to do is, a lot of people want to use the shell, so if you go to the top, Wanderer, and come down to shell, the other option is you can press the right Amiga key. I would recommend you get one of these keyboards. Some people like it, some people don't, but it's got the nice boing ball keyboards. Get them from Amiga Kit. So they're quite nice. So we've got the shell here, so I can do the usual, DLC, etc, etc. Now, the shell's actually going for quite a bit of work at the moment, so we hope to have history and scroll pass and a load of other things, so that update will come along. Talking of updates, actually, when you've got this, obviously you can update this, but because you don't have a CD-ROM with this, it might be more tricky. So you can download the ISO from the internet, and once you've downloaded the ISO file from Paolo's site, we can go to Tools, and up here LUPD, Live Updater, and then you just click on the ISO image, point to the ISO, and it will update your system for you. Okay. Now remember I mentioned earlier on about the default setting for the screen driver was set to Visa, which is the default mode, just in case you have problems with your monitor. So let's click on Editor, and I'm going to change that. So we go to the top, Open File, and we want to go to Volumes, and then AOS Live Drive, and you want to click on Boot, and then Grub, and then scroll down till you get to Grub. Okay, there's Grub Config. Click OK. Now, it's a whole load of entries in here, but you see up here, really important bit, the timeout, which is 5 seconds, which is how long it waits there for you to do anything, either to do a change or to move on. And there's the default screen driver. Now there's quite a few drivers in here. The only one to be honest, is more than you need. But the good thing about this stick is you can take it anywhere. You can put it into a machine that's got NVIDIA drivers, and you could use the that screen mode. Yeah, so don't delete these. Technically you can delete these, but I would just leave it if I was you. Now, also to note, this is, believe it or not, this is actually naught. The first one is naught. Okay, this is the easy mistake. So that's naught. So at the moment it's set to Visa 1280. But what we want is I want to switch this into GMA, which is this one. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So if you change that number to 6 and then save changes, which I won't, save changes, then the next time you boot it'll go straight. But don't do that until you've guaranteed that the thing's working with once you've tested it. If there's any problems at all with the, we're happy to send you the, well, we can just send you a file with a new the new driver on it to fix that problem for you, because that is being worked on at the moment. Hopefully it won't cause any problems, and once you've got a screen mode set up, you might find I'll just send you a preferences file and just replace it, and it'll be fine. But that's for that. Right. There's not much else you're going to want to probably do in here because it's already installed for you. Now, if you want to leave something on the desktop, let's click on Tools. Say you want to, well, say for example you want to put the editor on the desktop. So go to Icons, Leave Out. There you go. So it's on the desktop now. You can get to that. But we'll go into Extras. So if I click on Extras and have a look what's in there. Right, there's loads of applications. This is the full Icarus system on here. So you've got lots and lots of programs on here. Highly Tracker. I haven't linked them all out, but there's lots of programs in here you can play with. There's a screen recorder picture. Now I wouldn't use a screen recorder with this, to be fair. The stick's not going to be that quick. If you put it onto a hard drive, then fair enough. If you want the applications going here, there's a paint program, there's Lunar Paint. Okay, so we've got up here, you have to excuse my monitor, it takes forever to tell me about that. So we've got the paint program here. Let's find some images. Let's go to Media, Graphics. I don't know what's the small one. There we go. So you can see we can edit that. I'm not going to do anything with there, but okay. So that's it. Now, some of you may have this with a workbench icon. If you have, then that opens up the 68,000 Janus UAE system, so you can run 68K applications. By default we don't have that set up, but if you want to go out and buy a copy of Amiga Forever, you will need to plug in a DVD or CD drive, but you can install that, and then it's just a case of, in fact, I'll just show you where that is. When it's installed, we go to Extras, AMI Bridge. Okay, if you double click on here and you go add a program, it will say you haven't got it, and it will bring up the icon and you can select it. In fact, that's right. So you can see AMI Bridge needs the original files. Click Amiga Forever because that's where you've got your disk, hopefully, and then it will install all your files. But I'm not going to do that. And also, if you go back over here, the files will be put into System and Work. Let me just window. Let's show view all. If you go into the emulator, scroll down, you see there's this workbench icon here. Once it's all set up and running, if you leave that out, then you've always got it on the thing here. Now, the JNIS simulator is very, very, very good, and it's going through masses of updates, so over time it's just going to get better and better. We've also got a 68K emulation system being developed as well, so later on that'll make it much more streamlined, because it'll be using AROS system calls to accelerate programs. It's similar to the way they do on Morphos and Amiga OS, but that's not for a while. I mean, it's working, it runs the clock, but that's about all. But the technology is there, which is good. But give that another year before we start shouting about that. So if I just double click on the M player here, and we'll load up. And now again, this really is going to show. Now this is coming off of this memory stick, which there's no hard drive in here, so this is the performance you're going to get from a memory stick. Okay, it's quite important that I mention that. So if I stick this down here, let's skip for a bit. Okay. In fact, I'll tell you what I will do. I'm just going to turn up the volume a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I've got that running there, so you can watch that. Now let's try an experiment. I don't know if this is going to work because I've not actually tried this, but we'll. The only reason I'm showing this is because if we go to movies and then run one of these.
Most of you know me from AROS.
Okay.
But,
let's turn the volume down a bit. Right. It's an 800 by 480 pixels movie. I think this is about 600 by 400 or something, 640 by 300, something like that. But look, it's coming off a memory stick. So yeah, I mean, you can by all means you can stick yourself in a hard drive in this thing if you like. It's completely up to you. I mean, I would put a hard drive in it, but you don't have to. Okay. But there you go. I think let's get rid of these little bars. Oh, if you want to know how to get rid of the bars, if you see the middle mouse button, if you click on the middle mouse button when you have actually selected the movie, it displays and hides it. Most people don't realise that, but it's actually quite a nice little way of getting rid of it. So there you go. I'm hoping that the people who get these are going to have lots of fun. Well, what more can I say apart from my usual toodaloo? Yeah, this is the inside of the board, just thought you might like to see. This is the sodium memory socket. Just pop that out, and if you want to upgrade from 512 to 1 gig or to 2 gig, just replace that in there. The two connectors you need is your power light and your power switch. Make sure you have the positive that way. Okay, otherwise it won't work, but it does say on the instructions on the sheet. Now in the top lid, now here's the hard drive in the mounting frame. See these little screws? They've got little rubber inserts. Make sure you put the slot in between the rubber. And what that does is it keeps it quiet, it stops it vibrating if you've got normal hard drive in there. So there you go. So that's just a quick look inside, and then we screw it all back together again. Just a little thing also. See this cable here. Make sure when you're putting it all together that that's out of the way and it's sitting flush. You be careful taping and stuff like that, but you've got to make sure this stuff is flush, otherwise it won't sit properly. Okay, that's it. Bye. Okay, one more thing before I crack on. I don't put these on, these are little feet. Okay, right, so they just go on the base. You can stick them over the screw holes. I wouldn't.